Good morning. My name is Sarah Putt and I am editor of Computerworld. Welcome today. The moot for today's debate is that the ultra-fast broadband network will render telcos irrelevant to end users.
You know, this industry itself has got is a really dynamic industry. It's an industry in transition, but it's an industry that I think has some particular issues and barriers to it being more successful. The first one is the lack of articulated vision, as I've mentioned. I also think that there's an issue of fear and in this industry and in the way that this industry is approached by people in general.
So just thinking about the UFB program and think about not UFB itself, but think about how it's going to be delivered and what the implications are. And it becomes quite clear and obvious that ISPs, they are already irrelevant and they'll continue to remain irrelevant. And that's a good thing. So competition is a wonderful thing. We don't have competition at the moment. Therefore, we have characteristics of a monopoly or a duopoly at the moment. But that's going to change. It's the market structure that's going to change, where the fiber company is not the retailer. No matter what the telcos do, they will only try and make themselves relevant by pissing us off. That's the problem.
It's true that now ICT is high on political agendas of all countries I travel to. Everywhere, connectivity is as valued as water. Yes, there is a need to articulate a public vision, a public initiative with private investment. Why? First of all, to accelerate. Second, to force new investment models, sharing agreements on what is non-discriminant, that is the passive network, or what has to be shared. The expansion of local loop was from 35% of the population to 70%. 70% of the population, and thanks to these public fiber backhauls, 70% of the population in France gets access to 4 or 5 service providers. The competitive landscape is perhaps, and we can talk of it, too strong. That is that for 30 euros per month in France, 70% of the population can get triple play.
But I want to try and put my head into the world of the negative team, a world where telcos are relevant to the end users. And let's ask ourselves, what does this world look like? Well, perhaps it's a world where telcos provide us with the content and the platforms that we love. It's a world where we all shop on Ferret, where we each have a TiVo in our home, where we get our music and our news from Telecom, and where we check our Vodafone walled garden on a mobile phone to catch up with the latest snow report. It's a world where all of our devices are branded telco, and where our phone and our computers and our Telecom pads are all telco devices. That's not really a world that we live in, is it? That's not really a world that we want to live in, is it?
The best attempts of many players to enter this industry over many, many years, one thing remains the same. It's about scale. And if you can't provide scale, you can't provide service. And if you can't provide service, you do not survive.